Buenas noches a todos, nuevamente los que están en América Latina y el Caribe. Buenos días para quienes están conectados desde Beijing. Les doy la más cordial bienvenida a esta nuestra última jornada de este taller de idioma chino más cultura agrícola. Mi nombre es Andrea Mella, coordinadora de cultura de la Fundación CLEC, Oficina Regional para América Latina y el Caribe. Les recuerdo, como siempre, como todas las noches, que este seminario está siendo traducido transmitido en 4 idiomas, con traducciones simultáneas al español, al portugués y al inglés. Pueden seleccionar su idioma en la parte inferior de la pantalla. También les recordamos que pueden enviarnos, como siempre, sus comentarios, preguntas y también comentarios de la clase del día de hoy en la sección de preguntas y respuestas que está en la parte inferior. Hoy, nuestra última jornada, tenemos un tema muy importante dentro de la cultura china, que es el la cultura del arroz. Y vamos a dar con mucha pena, que es nuestro último día, pero también muy contentos por aprender algo sobre el idioma chino. Siempre estamos aprendiendo algo nuevo con el profesor Meng, así que le damos la más cordial bienvenida al profesor Meng, que hoy día nos va a hablar de Iwan Mi, de Yisheng. Sí, sí, la va
谢谢梅亚，谢谢宋老师，谢谢罗密欧，也谢谢王老师啊。那么，亲爱的各位好朋友们啊，我们的讨论今天就来到了最后了啊，就来到了最后了。我们说农业生产，它最后实际上会要变成我们的食物，这是所有的农业生产最终的目标。那么今天我们就来到了农业生产的最后了。我们辛辛苦苦的种粮食、收割粮食，现在终于把粮食变成了一碗米饭。那么这一碗米饭，它到底是
change into a bowl of rice. So what does it come from and how it to become the food for us? So today we will talk about this topic is a lifetime of a bowl. So today, a bowl of rice. I wear the red clothes because Chinese people love the color of the red. Red, it means the lucky and the happy. Actually, I have some emotional. I will miss you. I through this platform. I welcome you from all the Latin America. If you have the spare time with the time required, welcome to you to come to China to look around. And you can tell me if we can meet in China. I will treat you the rice and treat you the Chinese food, Chinese cuisine. So today we will talk about the topic of today is a bowl of rice in the lifetime. When we eat the rice, we must plant it. So when we plant it, so where does we plant it? When we plant the grain, we plant the grain in the field. So all the agriculture is inseparable with the soil. So of course, today's the technology has a big progress. Some countries, they don't use the soil to plant. They plant the grains in the laboratory, just give the water and some protein liquid, use this way to plant. But for traditional planting, the grains is throw the soil to plant and to get the grains, get the wheat, the rice. So in this field, the field for cultivating in Chinese, we call it tian, and this tian is a field. So Professor Meng, this tian, so how to change it in this character? And the original meaning is the soil. It's not. As we know, Chinese people to plant to get the grain for ordinary people is the most important work for ordinary people in China, long time ago in agricultural society, and the divided work for Chinese people is not too much. More than 8% more, and 90% is are farmers. They go to work in the field every day, and they left so many notions and informations. In China, there is one poem, it's very famous. When the children go to the kindergarten, they must memorize this poem. Why we can memorize this poem so early? Because this poem told us the farmers were working in the field, and the process of cultivating is very hard. So Chinese people be educated to cherish the green, cherish food, because farmers is very hard to cultivate. I will read it to you. And this is Min Nong, is hoeing day long, sweat dripping down to the earth. Who knows plate? Every grain is hard working. So every rice is very hard to get. So we need to cherish the food. When we cultivate this soil, this field, where is it from? The earliest time and all of the field exists in the nature, isn't it? And when we go to the nature, we can plant straightly. It's not. And this field actually we can drive from the long ago and for the hunting area, a hunting era. So we have seen it's a hunting era. It's a hunting era. And that time, for the human beings didn't cultivate. We don't come to the agriculture society. At that time, Chinese people noted that, for example, in one book, long time ago, Chinese people, they didn't cultivate the soil. They get the food from hunting. So how to hunt? At the beginning, they use some tools, for example, wood stick to hunt. But you can say, when we hunt, and this elephant and the tiger and the lion is much bigger than the human beings, we cannot find it, and perhaps we may be eaten by them. So how to do it? Human beings are very smart. Human beings think sort a method. They use fire to hunt. And you can see in this picture, in this forest, there are many animals hidden in it. When we hunt, we can straightly to fight it. We cannot fight against with them. So they discussed, they saw many animals in it, and they surround the animals, and they discussed, and they fired, and you can see all the people fire together, and when they fired, and the fire is burning, so the animal very they are fear of the fire, so they run around. But before we fired, we discussed, and in the circle we left one entrance. In this place, we didn't fire it. In other round circle, we fired, and in order to make all the animals to run out from this entrance. So in this entrance is all the people to hunt in this entrance. All the people will stand aside in this entrance and took the tour and the biggest and the fierce animals, we left they go. And for some small animals and some animals easy to get, we will catch it. And at this time, we can get many animals. And this process in many countries noted that, for example, in this picture, it's a prehistoric photo. It is noticed the earliest process of hunting. They hunt for the deers. They ride a horse to hunt. And in this process, Professor Mo, is it true? Chinese people noted this process. I will tell you, we have this process. For example, you can see this character. This word has two radicals. The first is the above characters, the above radical. I explain it. Do you remember what's the meaning of the radical? Two wood, a lot of trees. What's the meaning of the radical? If you know, you can text in the chat room. What's the meaning of this radical? A lot of trees together. So what's the meaning of it? The forest. It means the forest. The above part and the under radical is fire. So you can see this character. It means fire the forest. Actually, the meaning is use the fire to hunt. The most interesting thing, this character, we pronounce it born. It means the fire forest. In Chinese pronunciation is a ben. It's similar as the English born. So in Bible, long time ago, all the people spoke the same language. We guess maybe it's true. This characters is one of it. In Chinese, the pronunciation of fire, the forest, born, is same with English. And we can see another word. The under part is fire. What's the above part? It means a lot of pigs. Two wild pigs. So this word, fire the forest, the purpose is to catch the wild pig, the wild animals. So this character, you can see, the meaning of it is to use the fire to burn the forest and make all the wild animals to run and we to hunt it, to catch it, and we can get the animals. So you can see all of these words is the notation of this history. Also, we use the fire and plus the radical of deer. This deer, it told us you use the fire to burn the forest to get the deers. To fire burning the forest to get the deer. And all of these words is the notation of the history. So when we fire to burn this forest after it, and you can see Israel left the field. Then Chinese people called ourselves as the descendant of Yan Huang Emperor. Huang is the leader to lead the Chinese people to wear clothes. So the person lead the Chinese people use fire to get the animal. What's this the leader? It's a Yan Emperor. The descendant of Yan Huang Emperor. Yan is two radicals, fire plus fire.
double fire，所以你会看到
So you can see Yan Emperor is to lead the Chinese people to use the fire. Is a leader of to lead the Chinese people to use fire. So it's Yan Emperor. So Chinese people said ourselves, we are the descendants of the Yan and the Huang Emperor. So when we can use the fire and all the food that we eat is cooked. So Chinese body is to become healthy. So Chinese life is become longer. And a long time ago, we don't eat the food uncooked, and the people's longevity is about 20 or 30 years old. So when we eat the food that is cooked, the Chinese longevity is to become longer. So Chinese people live these two emperors. So we regard the Yan and the Huang emperor as our ancestors. So we think we are the descendants of the Yan and the Huang emperor. So Yan emperor, he has two names. First one is Lie Shan. Lie Shan, it means fire the forest. So why we call the Lie Shan Shi? Because he leads Chinese people to use the fire to get the animals. So we call him as Lie Shan Shi. So meanwhile, we call Yan Di as Shen Nong Shi. Nong is agriculture in Chinese. Shen Nong is a god of the agriculture. So Shen Nong is god of the agriculture. So why we call it the god of agriculture? You can see when they fire to burn this forest and the field is left. So he led all the Chinese people in this field start to cultivate. So it referred to that Chinese people from the cave to the land to live. So this is the Chinese people to live one place unchangedly, and it noted that the agriculture society has come. And this story is a very long story. So other friends, if you have any interest, maybe I need 2 hours to tell this story. So the agriculture society has come. So we have this field. In this field, Chinese people did two things. First one is to plant the rice, plant corn, plant beans, plant wheat, etc. We can plant many grains and we can get enough food to eat. So this time we come to the agriculture society. Another one is in this field, we also can raise the tamed animal. For example, we can raise the ox, the cow, the sheep. So we have enough meat to eat. So we said the field calm, and the appearance of field is the symbol of the Chinese people into the agricultural society. Meanwhile, it's also a very important pre-basis of Chinese people into the agricultural society. So we fire to burn the forest is the earliest time.
Is we get enough food. So 田 that means food 啊，所以这个时候我们会看到
So this time we can say 田. The meaning of 田, the earliest meaning is to fire, burn the forest, change into another meaning is the field. So Chinese people how to get the fire. So what does it come from a fire? So the earliest fire, how to get it for Chinese people? Let's watch it. As original meaning electricity, and its extended to another meaning is to illustrate. In gold script, and to inherited by the oracle appearance. In Zhuan script, inherited the appearance of gold script. The original meaning is the stem of the above, and the molten is to express the electricity.
哦，老师们说声音比较小是吧？哦，老师们说声音比较小是吧？我把声音大一点啊。我把声音大一点啊。好。好。这回好一点了吧？这回好一点了吧？大家可以看一下哈，中国人是怎么获得的这个
You
火
can see Chinese people how to get the fire. It's the flash of it.
We get the fire from the flesh. We get the fire from the flesh.
The Shen in oracle is a pictograph. It's like the appearance of the electricity. The original meaning is electricity, and it's extended to the meaning of illustrate. In gold script, it's inherited by the shape of the oracle, and it curves. In small zhuan, it's inherited the characters of gold script. The original meaning is to the radical change into one line, and the two sides becomes a parallel radical. In Li script, it's inherited the shape of Xiaozhuan. The original, the radical, two combined. In standard Chinese characters, it's inherited by the Li script, And the words order is like this. The pronunciation is shen, the first tone. Have 5 strokes. Okay, and you can see this word actually it means the electricity and the flash. So the earliest fire is from the flash. We got the seed of fire. So the earliest fire is from the lightning and uses the lightning to get the fire. So we can see the fire is from the lightning. So you can see when we make the forest change the forest into the field, and this process in today's China is doing now. Even if in Latin America, some countries fire the forest to make the fields. We make the fields to into the field. This process is the fields exist today. So we make most of the place change into the field for cultivating. And this field we divide many types, and we see some field is very good and is a very first type. And this year, next year, and next year, also you can plan it. Every year you can plan it and I can get the harvest. We call it 良田, it's a good field. And some field maybe it's not very good. When you plant it this year and next year, it's very poor. So this field is not very good. So how to do it? And we first year we plan it, but into next year to let it to rest. So this time, this type of field we call the 休田. 休田 means let the field to have a rest. First year we can plan it. The second year we let the field to have a rest. We call the 休田, except and so on. So I will tell you the other fields was divided different types. Some field is just for 1 year. So even you must have rest, have 10 years for example. We according to the factor to let the field to have a rest. So the the civilization and the concept of agriculture, Chinese people is very smart of it. So in the field, we can raise the rear the tempered animals, for example, pigs, ox, and other animals. This time I already explained to you. It's from the earliest wild animals into the tempered animals, tamed animals. What process is true. And from this, you can see in the field, you can see this word of 田. This 田, it means the field. So why we have this radical? Because we bring up the tamed animal in this field. So in the field, we raise we keep the wild animal. It becomes the tame animals. So you can see in it with a radical of tier, and the tame animals will provide a lot of and give birth and give the descendants as we call the shu. Shu, it means endless of the tamed animals. So shu is changing to the endless tamed animals. And this word change another meaning is save money in the store. So today, when you go to the bank, it's to save the money, to deposit the money. Actually, it has very interesting words. Is 家 house. In Chinese characters, we have one word 家 home house. So you can see this character. The bottom radical is the wild pig. Top radical is room. In Chinese, Chinese people think what the home is. The home is a master. In your house must have the tamed animals. The tamed animals generally it's the wild pig. So where is the wild pig? Why is in the house? Why is it in the house? You can look at this picture. You can see the second floor for human beings to live. The first floor is for wild pig to live. In first floor, for the wild pig to live, for the ox, for the sheep to live. The second floor for human beings. So this is a long time ago. This is the shape of the architecture of the Chinese people's house. So in Chinese people's house, they must keep some tamed animals. Actually, the house of the Chinese people is related with the agriculture. So when we have the field, we start to plant in this field. To plant, what's this word? And you can see in Chinese characters, we have a very important word. It refers to plant the trees. This word is a shu, tree. So what's the meaning of these characters? Long time ago, we write like this, and you can see this word. And this right part, the right radical, it means the hand. Use your hand. The left radical is the above part is trees. The under part, it means upright. So the meaning of this word is use your hands to plant the trees and make the trees upright and to it grow up straightly. So you can say, actually use your hand to plant a tree in the field and make the trees become upright. That means true. Now you can see it already expressed the trees. That is the original meaning is to plant the trees. You can see, now you can see, long time ago, it means to plant. When we make the grains, the corns into the soil, before this, we have very important actions is to drill the soil, is dig the soil, is make the field soft. And when you plant the grain, it can grow up and can break up the field. So you can see when you plant, before you plant, you must make the soil softly. So how to make the field softly? Chinese people use some tools. The earliest tool is like this. It's one stick and have a stem as have one wood. And people can touch it to dig the field. It's the earliest tool we call the li. Li is for Chinese people. It's the tool that the Chinese people use it to make the field softer. And you can see it's actually right like this. And gradually it becomes this and now it becomes the modern Chinese words. So this word is the Chinese people use it to dig the soil and make the field become more softly. It's one agriculture. It's one agricultural tools. This word it means male, and it has two radicals. The top radical is field. The bottom is radical of li. So you can guess what's the meaning of the character. Tian means fire, the forest to hunt, forest to hunt. And the li is a tool that the tools for planting. So you can say Tian plus Li, it means the male. So this word tell us is one kind of human beings. So this character tell us is one kind of person is can can hunt and can plant. So Chinese people, the explanation is not right in China. So the above part is the field and the under is the field to plant. This line is a farmer, it's not because the former farmer is male. So this explanation is false. In Yunnan province, in Fujian province, there are many farmers, not the male, they are female. So the top radical is original meaning is use fire to hunt. It's the tools to plant the bottom radical. So these two radicals combined is who can hunt and plant. Can plant and hunt the person, yeah, it's male. So this is the meaning. In the letter, we found that tool is very difficult to dig the field is inefficient. So we invent right, two wood and it makes progress and the technology is improved and developed. It revealed that the society is developing. So when we developed like this, use the man to do this work, it's very tired. So in 2000 years ago, Chinese people found and this iron. We use iron to make the tool and use iron to cover this cup we call the li. And you can see this character. It's very sharp. We don't work by ourselves. We use the ox to work. It's not the people to dig the field. We use the ox to dig. And the ox is to be our partner to do this work. This is the old man. They don't have the power and their work become very relaxed. They just take this tool and use the ox to give the power, take the field. Actually, this tool is this, but this time you can see the tools as not only by the person, it's by the ox. The ox becomes a very important partner for agriculture. So for Chinese people, ox is the most important partner for agriculture.
The member of the family 在中国人的生活
In
当中
China, in traditional society, the buffalo ox is very important for Chinese people. Chinese people has a very grateful emotion for the ox. So ox in China is not a very normal animal. It's a member of the family. If an ox died, the family members would cry very sadly. They don't eat the meat of ox. They will bury it. So you should know ox is very special for Chinese people. So you can say in China, a long time ago, most of the Chinese people, they don't eat the beef and rarely to eat beef because ox is like the member of the Chinese people. It's the Chinese people have the special emotions because it helped the Chinese people to plant. It's a very important partner. It's also a mythology. Chinese people, the Valentine's Day is Qixi in July 7th. And the male's name is Niu Lang, is the ox male. He does, he's very poor. He hasn't anything but but an ox. So we call this man is a ox man. In Chinese traditional love story, is the symbol of the male. So it has a second meaning. 牛郎 in modern society, because the oxman is very handsome and strong. So today, in internet, oxman become another meaning. It's a male prostitute. It's the man whore. First, the original meaning is a handsome guy, handsome and strong guy. It's a male prostitute. It's very interesting. It's related with the ox. So it's when we plant, we use these tools. So when we plant all the grains, we also need irrigation. We need to irrigate. So Chinese people pay more attention in irrigation system. So Chinese people, why we use the hydrogen station? Why we build the it's the tradition. Chinese people, it's a Chinese people have pay more attention to the irrigation system. We can say when we irrigate, if it's the field for our field, it's the this is we call the drop. We call the quan. It's a stream. So if the between my house and your house is a little bit thick the water, it's mean we call it a kuai. If the big water, big river, we call the Chuan. Chuan is big river. And you can see in China, there is a province, is Sichuan province. Sichuan's original meaning is the four rivers. It's a four big rivers. So you can say the name of Sichuan province because here there are four big rivers, so it has the name of the province. This is Xuankuai the small water, middle water, big water, because of according to the water, and we named it. So you can look at these characters, you can distinguish it, except when we irrigated or Chinese people also discovered many the rivers to the irrigation system. If the river is not from the it's built by the human beings. If the river is not natural and is dig by the people, we call it a canal. Canal. In China, have the artificial canal we call the Yunhe. From the city of Hangzhou to the it's a long river. We call the Grand Canal. It's a China very important Grand Canal from Peking to Hangzhou. It's a very long canal, and this project we call the Grand Canal. But in Grand Canal have so many branches and different parts has different names, and all of the names have the one common word is Qu Canal. And this word show us the river built by the people. It's not from the nature, it's built by the people. So Chinese people build many canals. For example, Zhengguo Canal, Hongqi Canal, Tongji Canal. So the canal is built by the human beings because we came into the agriculture society. So what time plan and what time to rest is very important. So we need the timetable. So this time we need a watch to plant. This time we need the time. So how to do it? So Chinese people regard the sun as the watch. So in China's mythology, we have one have a very famous mythology is the Hua Fu chase the sun. So it's a very important characters. Why did he chase the sun? It told us Chinese people is according to the circulator of the sun to they arrange their lives. According to the sun runs, so we arrange our lives. So Chinese people is the group of chasing sun. When the sun rises, we start to work. When sunset, we go back home to have a rest. So we are the group chasing sun. So the sun is very important for Chinese agriculture life. Take some example, for instance, when the sun not rise, the sky is very dark. So what is called? And this sun we call the 日, it means sun. when the sun didn't rise, isn't rise, it's not rising, and it's very dark. We call the May. May is two radicals. Wei is the no. So this mean the meaning of it is no sun. It means it's dark. In Chinese, we have one idiom is 昧心. If your heart is dark, if you pick the money in the street, you need to give it back. It means your heart is not black, so not dark. So when the sun rises, it's the horizon, it's the sun. So this Chinese character means the sun rise from your horizon. That means morning. This word actually we pronounce it dan. So when the sun rises, the people and call each other, they need to start work.
Okay, look, it's this Chinese character.
It's this Chinese character. This is a song.
This is the sun. And this is the. And this is the. means to call.
This characters it means to speak. This Chinese characters we call the chang. When you see the sun rise, you will call others. This is the chang. Chang, it means when the sun rises, you will call your partner to go to work. And this time, it's changing modern Chinese, it's chang, it's to sing. It's the original meaning is to call. And in the evening, when the sun sets, when the sun comes down to the grasses, and it becomes another word, it's evening. It's called mu. Mu is evening. So you can see, because the agriculture have a high requirements for the time, Chinese people use the sun as the watch. It's a natural watch. Okay, because of the time. Okay, that's all. We don't have time to explain this in the later because the South China Agriculture University, they will, I will give the time to the mayor. Let's welcome Andrea. Thank you so much.
Estamos todos aquí en el chat aprendiendo.
Very interesting.
Juliana, Yeser también. Así que les mando también un saludo a todos los que han estado comentando y los que están poniendo los corazoncitos acá abajo de felicitaciones y de que les ha gustado muchísimo la charla. Muchas gracias, profesor.
Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias por viajar a China. Ansiamos poder encontrarnos cara a cara y, si no es posible, ansiamos tener en algún otro momento otra capacitación, otro curso, otro taller para poder hacerlo. Así que aquí también, Laura también se quiere ir a China, Yosneida también, muchísimos buenos comentarios. Se los vamos a hacer llegar después, profesor. Y en pro del tiempo, muchísimas gracias.
好，谢谢大家，谢谢小溪老师，
Thank you so much.
谢谢小溪老师，谢谢美雅。那么我们谢谢 Romeo， 也谢
See you later.
那么我们一会儿见。
Para continuar con nuestra agenda del día de hoy, además de agradecer entonces y agradecer todos los corazoncitos que tiene el profesor Mon, vamos a nuestra segunda parte y vamos a recibir cordialmente al profesor Chong, que es nuestro siguiente expositor. El profesor Chong tiene un doble doctorado y es profesor de la
Chen Letian, double doctor, professor, South China Agriculture University, Special Allowance Expert of the State Council National 100 Million Talents Per River Scholar of Guangdong Province. He is the Deputy Director of the State Key Laboratory of Biological Resources and Conservation in subtropical agriculture. He has long been engaged in molecular research on important traits related to the utilization of hybrid advantage in rice and has coloned and reviewed the molecular basis of the sterling seeds and in several distant hybrids, and he has received more than 20 grants from the National Natural Science Foundation of China for key projects, service project, and sub-projects for the National Key Research and Development Program. He has published 73 papers with a cumulative SCR impact factor of over 700 and nearly 5,000 citizens. He has been awarded the title of Outstanding Young and Middle-Aged Experts Model Worker of Guangdong Province and Excellent Teacher of the Southern Guangdong. Dear other friends, firstly, it's thank you for the CLEC of the Latin American and the Caribbean cooperated with the South China Agriculture University to hold this Chinese Agriculture Plus seminar. I am from the South China Agriculture University. There are 10 colleagues of mine according to the Chinese and agriculture to introduce the agriculture and Chinese. Today, I will introduce the application of the modern biotechnology and crop improvement. And we get the results in South China Agriculture University. As an agriculture university, we focus on the seed of the crop because China is a big agriculture country, also is a big population country. According to the statistics, in 2050, the population will get to the 900 million, and the planting area only in 0.15 acres. Every year, around 700 million people worldwide face severe food shortages every year. Guangdong province we call the rice city. But now this picture you can see, this is the Pearl River New City. It's the landmark of Guangzhou. And in this town, there are the buildings, no fields to plant. It reflected the development of the society, and it also means that we face food shortage. And in 2020, the WFP wins the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize. It's the second Nobel Prize. And the last time is the Green Week. We always expect the father of hybrid rice to win the Nobel Peace Prize. We think he deserved a Nobel Peace Prize, but last year he passed away in 90 years old. So as a is to raise the Chinese people, we face a big challenge. With 8% of world's arable land and 6% of freshwater resources, China produced 16% of world's food and feeds nearly 20% of the world's population. China's people, according to our own smartness, we find the method and we plant the hybrid rice. and the production has increased by nearly 90 million tons, and an additional 230 million people have been fed. Even if this, from 2005 to 2021, the China total grain output will increase from about 480 million tons to 680 million tons, but still need to import more than 100 million tons of grain. For China, it's a, it's a safety of China. For China, for the rice safety of China, the first one is satisfy for the volume needs, satisfy the need for food variety, satisfy nutrient health of food, satisfy the demands for food quality. We have several methods. If the planting area is limited, is improve the per unit yield level of crops, cultivate excellent variety to increase the yield, develop green agriculture, efficient and environmentally friendly production of improved crop varieties and practice. Green storage in land and technology ensure 1.5 billion of cultivated land rationally use the cultivated standard resources, strengthen the agriculture science and technology research, and build the country's food security system on country's strong scientific and technological strengths. Today, I will introduce the three in modern biology and three technologies. First one is GMO technology. Another is synthetic biology. Biology is gene editing technology. It's mainly providing the pharmaceutical products, improve the food quality and nutrition, improve the crop yield and resistance. It's a genetically modified organism, GMO, GMO products. GMO is a ubiquitous phenomenon in nature. Hybrid is one method of GMO. With the development, the scientists just apply this phenomenon to this genetic improvement of plants and animals with modern biotechnology to produce GMO products. Can get the GMO product. Actually, in nature, in 2050, public opinions, up to now, all the sweet potatoes cultivated have the genomes inserted with tDNA fragments from agrobug. So the sweet potato, when planted in the field, and this agrobug were transferred into the sweet potatoes. In nature, it becomes. And for scientists, they can grow the key technology and genetic engineering, DNA recombination technology, and can transferred into the plants. And this method of the transfer, you can use this agrobacterium mediated. Also, you can use the gene gun transformation and has other is electric shock method, pollen tube channel method, and nanoparticle mediated method. As the direction of the GMO has two. This one is a single trait, single trait. It's a single trait. The transfer of single gene. When it related the multiple genes, when it become a path of it, we will get the biosynthesis by the synthetic the biology is multiple genes trees. When we mentioned the GMO, especially in China, in Europe, because of the influence of the religion in China, and the GMO products is terrified. It's mainly for the food safety and environmental safety. In more than 20 years of commercial application of genetically modified crops, there has not been a scientifically proven unsafe case. It's just people's here. It's not unsafe. It's just a rumor during the people's. It's unprofessional. People said the GMO products is not good, but for the professionals, it's good. For example, from the GMO, we can transfer the potato. The right is the normal potato and the left is GMO potato under the same condition. It's not very browny and get the disease. In the process of the harvesting, storage, and transportation of potatoes, bruises and brown spots are produced due to bombs. So a large number of damned potatoes are discarded and wasted every year. It does have any toxic things. This is the one apple. It's a non-GMO. It will turn another color. It will turn black. But GMO, it does not have it not exist in this phenomenon. Another one is the obesity gene transferred into the potato in the rice. It can increase and biomax the production and also can dramatically increase the yields. Another one, the crop pest was worldwide. When we plant it, it will influenced by the disease and the worms. So how to defend the worms? To increase because insect pests cost the worst crops, pastures and forests up to 250 billion annually. It's the corns and the cow, the disease. For the traditional, we use the chemical pesticide. It will become the harm to the environment. Also, it has a hazards to the environment and the people. And the long-term use causes the pest and develop the tolerance. For some exist worms, they will become some genes and they anti this medicine. For this chemical pesticides, you don't have the choice. If you kill the harmful insects, you also kill the beneficial insects. But for the biological control, it's environmentally friendly. And the cost is high and low effect. And for the when we invent it successfully, it can use it for a long time and it become green purpose. Actually, insect resistance gene of Bt protein into crops. Bt protein comes from the Bacillus thuringiensis has been used for nearly 100 years as a biopesticide to specifically kill specific insects. It's not use the outside the protein to kill the worms. It's the difference. And the advantages of it is good effect, low cost, and friendly to the environment. This BT protein action because the difference of the species is need the specific condition to kill the insects. It need a slightly alkaline environment activated by specific processes. Also, it binds to a specific receptor for the people. The BT protein is needed in the alkaline environment. For the stomach of humans and mammals is acidic. There is no corresponding activation process and specific receptor. Therefore, BT protein is a common protein for mammals and has no toxicity. So from the GMO, you can see for the anti-worm corn and the ordinary corn had a totally different. This is cotton. China main crops is not to be planted for cotton. It's economic crops we don't eat. So in GMO cotton, we can increase the usage of the pesticide. Another one is we found from planting the GMO cotton, planting of the insect-resistant cotton effectively controls the damage of the counter bollworm in various crops. Brazil is the world's largest producer of the sugar cane, with a sugar cane planting area of 10 million hectares and 50% of the world's sugar cane trade volume. The sugar cane boil is a widespread pest in Brazil, causing losses of across approximately 1.3 billion US dollars annually. The Brazilian sugarcane technology center transferred a BT gene for the beans. For United States, 90 million tons per year. Brazil, 68 million tons per year. China imported the 90 million tons the beans imported from the world. This is the major genetically modified crops. 20 years of commercial application, the acreage of the genetically modified crops has increased by more than 110 times. GMO crops is beans, corn, cotton. For United States is a vigorous development. For the Europe is sway and lose. Africa, because the pressure of the starve, they are awake and to catch the level of the modified. Another one is synthetic biology. From due to the design and synthesis and artificial chromosomes with functional genes, gene regulatory networks, signal transduction pathways, and algorithms. It's vitamin A. About 400 million people worldwide, including nearly 200 million children, are deficient, and 1 to 2 million people die each year from the related disease. The red part is the more severe part.
这个如果我们去学习
When
这
we
个 vitamin A
study
的
the
知道它的相关的 pathway 的话，
vitamin
我们可以知道
A,
它
we
相
can
关的
know the
生物的基
pathways
因。
of it.
然后相关
Some
的东西呢，
scientists
已经通过在
in
这
the
个水稻当中
rices
相
to
关的
strengthen
来
these
强化
genes.
这个它的一个前体叫做
We call the keratin. The carrots have genes for the synthesis is
它
beta
进入
carotene.
人体之后，就能够通过人体合出 vitamin A。
It can from the
但
body
是
to
在植物当中，它没有 vitamin A，
become
所
the
以这就是我们可以通
vitamin
过
A.
来
For example, we use some methods for the CRT genes. The ICY genes is the basis uses the beta carotene.
最后就形成一个黄金大米。黄金大米的样子，
This is the golden rice.
黄金大米的样子。
This is a wild rice.
它是白
The
色的
second,
真型的大米。第二个 B 呢
the second
含量比较低的这个第一代
is
胡萝
the
卜素
lower. The first,
第一代的这个含量比较
the left is
右
the
边那些呢是含量比较高
high
的第二代
protein
的这个黄金
golden rice.
这个过去的2年，美国加拿大
In the past of 2 years, the United States, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia has approved the cultivation of golden rice. Bangladesh is also in the process of approval.
这个是中国这个在水稻当中
It's China large-scale production and
case
recombinant human serum albumin in rice.
是一个需要
This
动物的这个手术蛋白
HSA is the animal's HSA.
这个人的血流过多啊，还有就是一些水肿。那么现在这个蛋白是从水稻当中，
And this HSA is
水稻当中提
taken in the rice and to for the
这
human.
项技术是基因编辑技术。
The last one is
最后一项
gene
技术呢是基因
editing,
编辑技术啊，这项
and
是
it's developed very rapidly.
而且
In
在
2020,
2020年很快就获得
to
了
get the
前2
chemistry prize, Nobel Chemistry Prize. The first 2 female is the owner of the Nobel Prize. The
这个
male is Feng Zhang,
封
is
章
a
呢是一位华裔的科学家。
Chinese American scientist. These 3 persons is the pioneer, is the pioneers of the gene editing.
这个基因编辑技术呢，它那么转基因
For this
这个
gene
基因编辑
editing
技术呢，它实际
is
上主要是依靠一个 CRISPR
rely on the CRISPR HSA
这个
and to lead the RNA, the gene,
的 RNA
and combine with some target and use the TASNA genes to cut the DNA to be,
这个断裂，
when we
然后在
rescue the it will produce the rational gene and will remove some genes to become
达到这个定
to
点
break the target of the gene.
基因的目
This is the CRISPR repair the DNA.
编辑动植物的这个。那么这项技术呢，也广泛
Also, it's used in the editing. For example, this mushroom.
它也是为了让它不容易褐化啊，跟前面讲的 Apple 的那个，这是水稻
Less prone to browning.
这是水
Is
稻
from the editing,
通过编辑
it can improve the defenses to anti the disease.
这是目前利用
This now is some examples of application of gene editing in rice.
性状的改良啊，这些都已经
It's already very ripe in it.
这里大部分
So
科学家的
it's from the Chinese scientist.
另外的话就是
Another one,
技术和另外的话就是
gene editing techniques comparing with the
我
modified
们简单的
the gene with the traditional breeding techniques.
基因技术它其实是一个加法啊，就是
It's
在
the more
外源的基
more
因
GMO is
目的
a plus.
去让它产生新的这个表情和
It's
性
a
状
plus other technology to have a better
外
genes.
源的基因的控制的
And for gene editing,
基因编辑技术的
it's
话
mainly to minus.
是一种
If we have original genes, it control a
控制的是一个不良性状，
bad
敲
traits.
除
When we
之后
remove it, when we change it, and it's become a better one, and it's minus.
大概就是这么一个
And
东西。
for the
基因
gene
编辑技术
editing
呢，就是在动物当中之前有
in
出现
for
过
the
一些
animals,
在动物当中，它可以在这个伦理或者
there
是
are
人类
no ethical
的
issues.
或者是人类的这个操作。
And for the
但是
plantings,
对于作
for
物
the plantings,
更多的
no
是
have the
动物它们
ethical
存在的
issues.
伦理的这
We
个
can
所以我们
use these
可以
scissors
把这个剪刀啊，这基因编辑这把剪刀更加自由，其实是可以
to free
更
to
加自由
edit
的去编
to
辑
change the
改变
planting
这
the
个
tree
植物
the
或动物的这
trees.
个性状。
And
所以
for
整体来说，它一个是
body is
选择
more
速度更快，成效呢，因为编辑的
nice and faster, and the fact is
已经知道
predictable,
了，所以编辑的效果
predictable,
成本相对来说是
and the cost is
它
lower.
的成本相对来说是比较低，也不存在着伦理。
So for the
在
gene
技
editing
术发展的这么
developed in the past have developed in the past of years,
对于作物遗传改良来说是
and for the transgenic breeding and gene editing breeding,
转基这个基因编
it
辑
has
技
a
术
better
还有一个更好的
point is that uses the GMO the point to remove from the gene trees and to become is a non-GMO products.
接下来呢就是我
Next one,
接下来呢就是我
I use some time to introduce the representative achievements and contributions of South China Agricultural University in biological breeding.
做的一些贡献。在中国只有
In China, only
在
two
中国只有2个
crops are
作物是
approved to plant.
种植的。
Just now is
前面提到
GMO cotton
第二个呢
because we don't eat. It's not one we
第
can
二个呢
eat.
是
It's
可以
papaya.
吃的，叫 papaya 木瓜。它
It's
呢就是木
original
瓜，最早
from
就是
the
我们
South
大
China
学
Agricultural University Li Huaping teams transferred the replicase gene of the virus into the papaya to cultivate the Huangnong number one, which was awarded a safety certificate by the Ministry of Agriculture of China in 2006 and can be used in Guangdong
木瓜
province.
是非常难
Its
看的
papaya ring spot virus reduces global papaya and production by 90%.
不是因为的话，可能在座的
If we don't have the GMO techniques, you don't have the chance to eat this fruit papaya.
我们
And for the Li Huaping team,
就利用
use
它的这个复制酶的基因进行了
use this RNA
RNA 的方式，把
to transfer the gene
的基因转
and to
到
get
木瓜里面，获得了这个抗病毒的
get
品种。
get a new type of papaya we call the Huanong number one. It can deal with the disease of the papaya.
第二个就是为了这个
Second one,
实现，第二个就是为了这个实现多基因的转化在技术上这是一个技术
to
事件。
transgene stacking it,
把外源
we use the other genes to transfer it into the plant. It's a big challenge of technology. If the single gene, the transferred and the base, the vector
讲的就是一个 vector
is like a little truck.
的货车
It's like a small truck.
多基因的这样的一个
And for some multiple genes,
基因的转化和组合
we build
就建造了一个这个
it's like a chain of the train. It's not a truck, it's a
而不是一个
train.
很多的，所以
It can
就是它能够运很多
transfer
的
the many products. And this technology from this GSII
方式把一个一
and
个
uses
车厢一车厢
connect the different the
货运列车
trains. It becomes a cargo of train. So we can use the multiple genes
流到植物里面
to transfer into the plant one time. It used it by more than 100 institutes to use it. So
利用这样的一个
use it,
的列车我们就
we research the carotenoids biosynthetic pathway. So finally, we write the synthesis is
三型这样的一个叫做
to this acetate rich in white crystal rice.
代谢产物。那么通过研究这个代谢通路
So
呢，
we
我们锁定了
locked the relevant genes, we transferred into the rice.
大家可以看，我们在这个回到
In this pathway, we can find the beta carotene,
贝塔 carotene
the locations.
啊，然后在对，就在你那旁边那里。
This is a beta carotene. It's a golden rice.
黄金大米的这个位置，我们的
And this
虾青素的位置
as taxing is in the right circle. This is as taxanthin.
做这个整个的合成通路的
So
信息，
from this is we synthesize the
虾青素。
antaxanthins.
虾青素其实它只在低等植物和藻类
Antaxanthins is produced from some algae and cannot be synthesized by the most plants.
和三文鱼的这个颜色，包括
Antaxanthin in salmon, shrimp, etc. is accumulated by the body by eating algae feed containing
积累到虾青素
astaxanthin.
所以
So in
在植物当中
plants and in animals without this astaxanthin. So in the rice, we synthesize the pathway can straightly in rice
这个水稻的这个胚乳啊 embryo 里面去这个合成里面去
to synthesize the antaxanthin.
虾青素
Also, we call the red crystal rice.
中间
This is golden rice.
product 的黄金米啊，这是我们
So this you can see is antaxanthin. That's also we already researched the
那么
assessing the biosynthesis the pathway.
我们
The common rice and
是在种
in
里
the
面积累花青素，
can turn the black and the purple
但是它只在种
rice.
积累，它不会在胚乳里面这个
So from the research and get the pathway, we choose
就选择了胚乳驱动的这个相关基因。
to synthesize this ancestors.
大
So
家可以看得到
generally, we say this is BGR1 just in the unpolished. It's polished
变成这个 polished 的
and inside is also white.
白色啊，看到吗？后面但是我们的这个就是后面3个是我们的子精米，就是富含这个 S， 它是
Two maize genes and 6 coolest genes were transferred, and enzyme and metabolic pathway was introduced into
黑色的
the endosperm.
另外呢也是通过利用这个另外呢也是
Genetic engineering of the photorespiration to improve the photosynthetic efficiency and yield in crops.
江教授呢，他是改造了光和光呼吸作用的代谢通路，把光
Use this
通路啊进行了改造，
the photosynthetic efficiency
光合的效
to
果
improve and can the big GMO the rice. You can see it's much bigger compared with the wild rice.
另外的话，
And
大家可以
also you can use this way to transfer it into the potato. And you can see this the more GMO the potatoes, the quantities is
是要比上面
more than these wild potatoes.
多的，他们
It can have
出来他们在增产
the comparison of it. And the GOC rice yield increased by the 27%. For my team,
构建了多基植物
we also research the efficient multiple gene editing vector system for plants.
编辑系统是来自于
The earliest vector gene editing is in the animals. We transfer it into the
而且我们的
plants. And for the vector, we can edit it in wire. So
之前的系统它只是一
so
个
the former system is shotgun. So now is the
多弹头的这个
ISO.
分出不同的弹头来打
We can divide different different bullets into the different genes.
所以目前来说，它是
It's
大概有
more
800
than
多家研究
research institute and a company to use this system, and we already apply for the
另外的话，
patent
助这个
to
另外的话
assist
为了
this
助这个短基因这个基因编辑，
genetic
我
editing
们也
vector. We already
开发了相应的软件
invent
系统来
the
辅助
new
校编。
system to increase the specific
那么这个就是大家可以
and you can in this website to find the relative applications.
叫做 CRISPR-GE。那么这个软件呢，包括
And
那
this
么这个软件呢，它包括
editing design and result
一系列的这个
analysis,
辅助
it become
载体
the
构建
download
以及设计
and the target designs of target the primer
这个
design
订阅下载以及
and edited
target 就是还有
organisms.
能够最核心的就是还有就是
And the core
最
is
核
to
心的就是能够进行
gene analysis.
编辑之后的结果是怎么样。
And you can input the statistics and to tell you the effect of the gene editing. If you have interest, you can search in this internet. Up to now,
这个网站呢，目前的话，每个月
every
的访问量
month,
都在
more than
万次以上啊。目前4年
20
访问的用量30万。
5,000
然后
and 4 years,
然后
more than
相关的软件也申请
1 million and 1.3 million.
公司像 Syngenta， 它是向我们购买了这个软件的使用权的公司，这些都是
And some company buy these applications for us. So we also use
我们的这个
the gene editing, the fine regulation of rice split to stretch the content and
我们平时
palatability by editor waxing.
口感不一样。
When we eat the rice, because it's hard, moderate, soft, and very soft, it's because
导致的。直链淀粉
the
含量
straight chain starch content and rice substance in various types of the rice.
含量是更到低的，它的直链淀粉
And
含量是比较低
it's
的或者说叫适中，所以我们吃起来比较软，比较可口。这个但是如果特别的软，
it's under 5%, the starch is very soft. It becomes a
或者是
glutinous rice,
消化呀，
and it's very sticky.
粘牙的这种不同的区域的，但是
So different region have the different flavor.
口感
So
要求
for Guangdong province,
像我们
it's mainly for the
先到为主。
indica rice. It's we like the 25% starch. We like the a little bit hard rice.
不同的口感啊，我们
So for different flavors,
不同的口感啊，我们
we edited the different genes to produce the different the
直链淀粉
content of starch to get the different quality of the rice. So another one is
另外的话就是
the sea rice.
C rice
It's another one rice.
耐盐的水稻啊，主要是在
It's another one rice. It's a common semi-wild salt-tolerant rice with poor
其实是一个
agronomic trace and low yield.
它有好多的高
It's have for example, is a high police
猪型
are prone to logging, plant type difference, and photo period sensitive, no heading under some condition, long hour, easy to fall, and short green size.
能够应用到生产，主要是
And
就是
to
对它进行
develop
改
it
是
because the sea rice, it can be planted the seaside of the sea. We can use more field. So we also can say we can cultivate more the wild sea rice.
在盐碱地上
And
就是在盐碱地上去种的这个团队也对这个
for our team, also we edit the seaside,
编逐个
effect the gene editing to improve the salt tolerant rice.
光周期的敏感性，一个是改良它的，第二个就是对光周期的敏感性，它的这个第二个就是要改良它的这个
So we improve
后期来我们改
and edit
长一些啊。另外的话可以
Land type, the heading date, our length, and green type of the sea rice. The if also the editing rice varieties for rapid cultivation of two-line hybrid to breed temperature-sensitive sterile lines to become the seaside is sensitive to the temperature. Another one is from the left side, we use the hybrid advantages. Most we can get these advantages hybrid rice, exceptly this two, 1 and 2 is small, but their descendants, the biomass is very big. So when you see the rice, the seed, the ox eats the grass, but people eat the ear, just a half of the seed. So the yellow is the seed, the green is blank without seed. So break up the bacteria of the planting because of the relative is far, it become a new result. So you can see to knock out the creation of hybrid affinity lines for the distantly related high-yielding inbred rice. So we can knock out the TPR eliminates S1 mediated interspecific hybrid stereotype. The left and when we knock out it become more efficient. And this year is 4. This is just half. I will share all of these contents. Thank you for your listening. My sharing is in the end. Any question? I would like to share this topic with you.
Perfecto, muchísimas gracias, profesor.
Thank you so much.
A ver si así nos puede ayudar a traducir. Es que si la tecnología transgénica de la cual está hablando vuelve estéril a las semillas o qué pasa con los frutos que nacen sin semillas. Si nos pudiera comentar un poquitito sobre eso. De todas formas, lo voy a poner en el chat a la profesora Kang Yifan a ver si también nos puede ayudar a traducir.
转基因的，非常非常感谢您的这个提问啊，就是
Thank you for your question. On the GMO seed is up to your the seed of your synthesis. If you use it with to not to give birth, if we want to use it to give it birth, it's up to your choice. It's up to your transferred target. For the GMO, is any question?
Any more question?
Perfecto, profesor. Gracias por la respuesta. Entonces va a depender entonces de la semilla. Y Ana nos pregunta si las perspectivas de comercialización de productos relacionados con la soya y el maíz en China. ¿Cuáles son sus comentarios u opiniones al respecto? ¿Qué perspectivas de comercio se pueden hacer?
Now, 现在就是中国
China, for the technology, we don't give up the GMO and the gene editing, the research. It's supported by the government, but for the how to open this research, it's very cautious. But for the policy in the January of this year, for the gene editing technology, public rules and the leaders' opinion. Up to now, we think it's positive for this technology. And all the scientists for the gene editing can into the commercial products. So up to now, in China, except papaya, cotton, can plant. Other crops are not allowed to plant. Now, China allows in, allow to import the crops such as the beans, the corns imported from the United States, the Argentina, the Brazil. For the beans is 900 million, 90 million tons, and most of it is produced in Guangdong province. For example, the fossil, the soy sauce, and for all the fossils for the productions, also to squeeze the oil and have the very strict places to do it. So we always to call for to as soon as possible to open and broaden the production of the GMO products. Personally, I am very optimistic can open this the restrict of the GMO as soon as possible. The first step is corn and beans. Okay, thank you.
Y ya dar por finalizada la charla y también comenzar la ceremonia de titulación y cierre, pero hay varias preguntas relacionadas con el tema de las semillas transgénicas. Entonces, ¿cuál es su opinión sobre las semillas transgénicas? ¿Puede ser un riesgo para la salud y también para las semillas nativas, para la propia flora nativa?
Just now in this introduction, I mentioned for the GMO technology has developed more than 20 and 30 years. We don't have a specific the proof to prove the harm of the GMO. All of this, please believe the science. For any possibility or potential risk, all the science have the enough to solve this harm. We can, from the regulate and the policy, to avoid this all the potential risks for science. It should be have the tolerance and patience to let the science can put forward and don't cut it. This is my opinion.
Perfecto, profesor. Muchísimas gracias. Por temas de tiempo, tenemos varias preguntas y varios comentarios. Voy a hacer quizás un resumen de algunas preguntas más formales relacionadas con la organización que nos han hecho llegar. Cualquier pregunta, comentario que puedan hacer, pueden responder el correo que ustedes han recibido desde Zoom. todos estos días, todos estos recordatorios, si responden ese correo, me pueden contactar a mí directamente para dejarme sus correos electrónicos o algún tema específico para poder hacer. Así que desde ya agradecemos al profesor Chong por la presentación. Agradecemos a todos también nuevamente por todos los comentarios que han estado siguiéndonos desde el chat. Muchísimas, muchísimas gracias. Y como sabemos, hoy es nuestro último día y queremos dar un cierre y damos la bienvenida a Roberto Lafontaine, que es el director de la Fundación CLEC, nuestro Centro Regional para América Latina y el Caribe, que se va a dirigir a nosotros. Roberto.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Professor Chen Tian. Thank you so much. Good evening, friends from Latin America and the Caribbean, and good evening, all the teachers in China. The Chinese Plus Agriculture Seminar held by the Latin American Cooperation Center held today. In last 3 weeks, we have shared 12 lessons with you, enabling students and teachers to learn more about traditional Chinese agriculture and to learn more about the Chinese culture and language. We know that through knowledge and respect for nature, humans can better coexist with nature, evolving and adapting over the centuries, and these developments are still valid today. This knowledge continues to guide and inform us how to choose the right path in the real world and work together to create a better future. Here, we would like to express our special thanks to South China Agriculture University for cooperating with us, and the professors of this university for introducing us to various topics and knowledge in agriculture culture every day. And they inspire us to continue our study and research in many fields. We would also like to thank all the interpreters who communicate this knowledge to teachers, to the students through Spanish, English, and Portuguese, and facilitated communication. Here, we also invite everyone to follow us in our YouTube channel. You can find a video of this workshop here, as well as other academic workshops training we have held, including the submissions for Chinese students. I believe that these works will inspire everyone to continue to learn. We also invite you to join us in our next series of events. The collection of works for the 2022 Latin American and Caribbean Chinese Talent Competition has now begun. This competition will focus on singing. The categories of entrance are Chinese song singing, Chinese song adaptation and singing, and the Chinese songwriting. In addition, we will jointly organize a Live China Connect Latin America, Latin America Elite Youth Workshop with Beijing Language and Culture University for young people in China and Latin America. All students who are selected to participate in the conference and submit their assignments on time will receive a certificate and the completion, after which we will select 30 outstanding students and award them scholarship. Details will be announced on our official website, Facebook, and Instagram. Finally, I would like to convey the blessings of our Deputy Director, Sun Mingyang, who was unable to attend this graduation due to personal reasons, but she has been with you behind the screens during the seminar. Here, on behalf of Ms. Sun, I would like to say hello to everyone and thank you for all your participation and enthusiasm for learning Chinese culture, especially agricultural culture. We look forward to seeing all of you at our future events over the next few weeks. Mr. Maya will prepare and send the certificates based on the attendance information. I wish you all the best. Thank you again. Good night. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Maya.
Muchas
谢谢
gracias.
Maya。
Muchas gracias.
Muchas
谢谢。
gracias.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. 谢谢。
Felicitaciones.
Muchas
Ok.
gracias. Muy amable. Gracias a
Felicitaciones.
ustedes por todo el trabajo y la colaboración en este magnífico seminario que tuvimos durante estos días. Esperamos poder seguir trabajando con la Universidad de Agricultura del Sur de China, sin duda.
好，谢谢谢谢。
谢谢，再见。
再见，再见，
再见。
再见，再见。
See you.